Hi all, my name's Akhil from our Mortgage Broker. I hope you're very well. Today I'm joined by Arif Punjani from MatPlus Accountancy firm. Thank you, Arif, for joining me.
Thank you, Akhil, for inviting.
You're welcome. So the Zoom webinar is all about what MatPlus and Arif and his team can support people during COVID with the accountancy and tax affairs. So over to you, Arif. First question for me is basically give us an outline of who MatPlus are and the key services that you provide.
Well, we are a firm of chartered accountants, but we specialize into clientele, particularly for landlords, investors, and developers. So around the property sector is what our specialization lies into. And perhaps that is one of the sector which is severely affected, one of those other sectors which are affected during the current COVID-19 crisis. So being as to what MatPlus is, we are a firm of registered accountant, probate practitioner, and registered auditors.
Perfect. So you've got the full 360 service part where you can general self-employed clients as well as property investors that are fortunate enough to have a portfolio in the background too.
Yes.
So can you give us some indications of how you're supporting those self-employed property entrepreneurs, property portfolio landlords during COVID-19 currently?
So as of now, from the financial relief point of view that has been announced by the government, you could perhaps bifurcate the clientele among those clients who are self-employed. In layman's terms, they could be self-employed, those who are owning as an individually or those who are operating through limited company. But when I say self-employment, typically just self-employed, those who have got the unique tax reference number and trading under themselves as their own name, as opposed to a limited company. So if you're self-employed, perhaps consider whether you could be eligible for the universal credit in the absence of any income that you might have. The prerequisite for that would be that you need to have at least filed a self-assessment tax return for 1890. So if you have not done so, HMRC has opened the window for late filers up until 23rd of April. So we are assisting those. In fact, we are getting a lot of new inquiries of making application for the universal credit. However, we've been also filing their tax returns first and then making application for the universal credit. Now, for the universal credit, the enhancement is there for £1,000 upliftment. Also, there's no minimum income floor limit. And as soon as you make an application, possibly within a week, you would get an interview, a telephone call. So that you don't need to go and do a personal interview. And then if you provide your personal circumstances, which are exceptional in nature, you could potentially get a good uplift within a week rather than waiting for 4 to 5 weeks for the entire application to get processed. So that's from the self-employed, those who are self-employed to make an application for universal credit. Apart from what government has confirmed, 80% of your income, the net profit, that you have declared in the last year's tax return. But that would take some time to get implemented. I'm guessing that will be sometime next month when the HMRC would contact those self-employed people. So that's from those who are self-employed. As far as those who are limited company operating and perhaps directors and paying themselves a salary, we are making sure that they are at least PAYE registered. So pay as you earn scheme, you need to be registered. If they're doing a paper exercise of paying themselves a wage onto the books of accounts, that would not make them eligible onto the furlough job retention scheme of the government. So these are one of the basic measures that we are putting in place as of now. As far as the 80% is concerned, which HMRC has confirmed that they would be able to make a claim for, nothing has been announced yet. So we are all waiting for perhaps 20th of April, that is a kind of an indicated date that HMRC has confirmed that you could make an application for, but things would get uncovered perhaps, I would say, sometime end of this month to make an application.
Perfect, thank you for that. So viewers out there, accountancy, HMRC, there are lots of complexities, and it's key that you refer to your accountant or someone like Arif in particularly for getting that personalized service to understand your background, your tax affairs, whether you're in property or you're a self-employed contractor, for example, or you're running a trading business. It's key that you speak to an experienced and qualified chartered accountancy firm like Arif at MatPlus. Now, Arif is one of our key partners that we refer our clients to. And the reason for that is one, because a lot of our investor clients are purchasing property in limited companies. So it's key that our clients take up the relevant advice, whether it's a good thing or it's a right thing to do to buy property in a limited company, or is it better to buy in your personal name, as we all have historically? So I'm not the tax specialist, I'm the mortgage specialist. So I I then turn those clients and refer them to the likes of Arif, who gives them that expert knowledge and advice, and is the best place to give you that advice. So from my perspective, I'd always recommend speaking to the actual specialists and avoid the sort of the fake news or the social media armchair advisors. So speak to the right people, I'd always suggest. Arif, give us 3 top tips that you'd give portfolio landlords during COVID-19 and things that they should be doing perhaps going forward now in the future.
So again, for the portfolio landlords, the very first question would be, are you operating through a limited company, as you have rightly suggested, whether it's more advisable to operate through a limited company or individually, and many individual landlords have just recently incorporated the property portfolio as well. Just making sure that your company is POI registered and whether you are paying yourself a salary or wage. That actually an exercise that you have done through a real-time information rather than just a paper exercise. That's question number 1, because if you have done so, you could be eligible for the 80% relief. So that's number 1. Number 2, the rental income that could be subject to taxation. This is only applicable for the individuals only, not for the limited company. So those who have got 2, 3, 4 properties or perhaps a smaller portfolio, but not incorporated as a limited company, you would not be subject to income tax if the rental income has not been received. So if you had bad debts due to the current crisis and the tenants are not paying you the rent, those uncollected rent would not form part of your income, so that you would not pay income tax on it. And lastly, which is automatic anyway, you don't need to worry about making a payment on account on 31st of July, which is perhaps 3 or 4 months from now, because it has been automatically deferred till 31st of January next year. So perhaps these are the 3 primary things that I would say, but yes, you should assess and check whether you could be eligible for the universal credit, and then just make sure that you are ready for the furlough job rotation scheme as and when HMRC opens the window to make a claim for.
Thank you, Arif, for that. Arif's put together a great spreadsheet that I've actually been fortunate enough to see about potential opportunities where you are applicable potentially for grants, loans, and other forthcoming measures that the Chancellor and the central government have put in place. So I'll definitely recommend contacting Arif at MatPlus Accountancy. I will leave their contact details in the information below. And again, if there's anything related to mortgages, please do contact our mortgage broker via our website, which is ourmortgagebroker.co.uk. And likewise, on all social media handles, I will leave Arif's social media handles, as well as our mortgage brokers on all the social media platforms. Thank you for joining me, Arif. We hopefully will do this again soon.
Thank you, Akhil. Thank you for inviting, and you're doing very great.
Thank you, Arif. All the best.
Thanks.
I appreciate that. Have a good day.